Just love your natural hair. Just embrace your natural hair. I believe this is trash advice because it sounds good. It's just like when people say, love yourself more, show yourself grace more. We're hardwired in a society to say things that sound so pretty, so fluffy, so achievable. But we fail to realize that the journey of loving one's self or loving your hair is not linear. And it is so full of complexities, so full of ups, downs, highs, and lows. And when I look at my journey for when I started a YouTube channel in 2009 to now, I started off wanting to just see what my natural hair would look like. With all that went on in the initial budding phase of the natural hair movement, you felt this inspiration, like all these Black women are doing this, they're showing up and they're showing that it actually works. It made me want to try it. Just seeing Black women do their hair online was life-changing because the people who inspired me was Shima Hair 21, whose hair was relaxed at the time, Atia, whose hair was relaxed at the time and still is, and KimeTube, who was natural. And there were a lot of other women too, but these are the three that stood out to me. And I saw these women with beautiful hair and natural, relaxed. It really sparked in me a curiosity about my own hair, just curiosity. But what I didn't understand was that there were layers and layers of mess, lies, strongholds that I held on to that kept me from loving my natural hair. See, because when I hear just love your natural hair, it's preachy. It doesn't factor in how love is not something you just automatically have if you've never had it. I can't just love my natural hair if all I had was resentment or if I never knew my natural hair. I feel at times, again, this sounds really good. It sounds nice. It sounds amazing, but it's not linear. And you're bound to have seasons where you feel absolutely amazed and seasons where you feel absolutely discouraged. For 12 long years, I did not have the mindset, the support, the help, the tools to get to that place of love and acceptance of my natural hair. Everything was trial and error. And because it was trial and error, I felt like this was an isolated experience that only I was going through. I felt like I had the hardest hair texture, the hardest combination. And I mean, I do. But I don't see it as difficult anymore. I've learned to love and embrace my natural hair and its combination. And now it's giving me what I have been wanting all my life. But I did not have the understanding. It's just like the Matrix. When you guys know the movie, there's a system, there's an artificial world, then there's programming, there are the machines. And then there's Neo, who's like, has an awakening. But prior to that, you just go along with everything like it's normal. I thought struggling with beauty was a normal thing for a Black woman to experience. I thought that's just what we were destined to have. I thought that God had a specific, special experience for Black women that other races of women didn't have. So I remember when I got to college, my hair came about right here. It was the longest it ever been. And I was shocked. I was like, what? I didn't even know, what? And I didn't know how to respond to that. I didn't know, I just thought, oh my God, I've had something that I've never had before. And I completely sabotaged all of my progress. And that discouraged me. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna flat iron my hair. I'm gonna be a straight hair natural. And that's what I did until I big chopped again for the second or third time. This last time though, my fourth big chop, I finally got the support I needed to stop the cycle. And I think sometimes we feel like, why is it such a struggle for me when it seems to come like second nature for other women? Why can't I just exist as a Black woman and not feel like it's an entire project, it's an entire transformational journey, it's an entire undoing? And it doesn't have to be. And I'm going to share more about that today. But I managed to, God led me to a family who was very straightforward with me, very blunt, and asked all the right questions. And then when we finally got to the root of it, I was able to solve it. We were able to solve it. God helped me heal through it. And now you can't tell me nothing about my natural hair. I walk out and I do feel like I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. I do. It doesn't mean there aren't other beautiful women in the world. There are. But that's how I feel. I never feel like I'm second to anyone. I'm like, if they can't see my beauty, that's their problem. They're blind and clearly they haven't seen true beauty, right? That's just the way I look at it. Here's something that disturbed me. And I really did not like it. It really disturbed me. Black women spend 9 times more on beauty products than any other ethnicity. The annual spending on hair care for Black women alone is $1.7 billion. And the market growth is expected to jump up to 4.3 by 2033. So to put this in perspective, the amount Black women spend annually on hair care, 1.7 billion, could buy 3 SpaceX Falcon rocket launches, the entire Miami Marlins baseball team, 425 million cups of Starbucks coffee. Then when we look into the personal investment, 21% of Black women allocate more than 25% of their monthly budget to hair care. Box braids ranging up to $75 to $450, excluding buying your own hair packets. Then you have the wig revolution, and it sure jumped off because I remember when Best Lace wigs popped on the scene with their Peruvian and Brazilian and all that. And girl, when I tell you I have spent so much money on wigs that if I had just saved that money, oh my gosh. So we noticed a 75% increase in wig sales from 2020 to 2021. 90% of Black American women wear wigs more than any other people group. 90%. So the investment ranges from a basic wig, which would be like the cost of a nice dinner, so $30 to $100. Then there's the beautiful lace fronts. That's like a monthly grocery bill, so $99 to $399. Sometimes even more. And then you have like the human hair wigs, including lace frontals, which is like a down payment for a car. Again, up to $2,000, depending on, quality, where you're buying it from, and so on. By 2023, it is going to be a $3.6 billion industry. That's like adding a new Snapchat-sized company to the economy. But there has been a changing landscape when it comes to relaxers. So 90% historical usage among Black women. Relaxers are used in other parts of the world, but never to the extent that Black women will use them. 50% of us started wearing relaxers before age 10. The current market for relaxers is $719.8 million in 2024, and it's projected to grow to $839.1 million by 2029. But again, there is a plot twist here because sales have dropped by 9% from 2017 to 2022, and now only 21% of Black hair care sales are from relaxers due to rising health concerns and so on. But when I put in the number of sales dropping by 9%, it still was like a big number, like $135 million. That's how much they lost. I'm like, that's still a good substantial amount of money. We're just talking about hair care, guys. And we talk about like Black wealth, building Black businesses and so on, but look how much money we're spending just on hair care. Let's talk about our current spending. So wigs, we're averaging $700 to $2,000 per wig. Installation, if you don't do it by yourself, that's $400 to $1,200. Relaxers and maintenance, $390 to $780. Again, these are annual figures. Products, roughly $650. Salon visits, $1,200. So our total annual investment is about $3,340 to $5,830 a year. That's one person. So think about what you could do with an extra $4,000. Now, the natural hair investment, because people like to say natural hair is so hard, it's harder, it's not easy. It's a lie. It really, really is. But here's the alternative. Basic products will range from $200 to $300 a year. Styling products could be $100 to $150 a year. Trims, $150 to $300 a year if you do them at a salon. Deep conditioning treatments can range from $60 to $100. So we're looking at a total annual investment of $510 to $850. Of course, it depends on which brands you're purchasing from, how much product you go through. So these things aren't considered, but that is something to keep in the back of your mind. That's like Netflix for a year and a few nice dinners, right? So let's talk about the savings breakdown. So annually, we're saving $2,830 on the low end and $4,980 on the higher end. So this could buy you 6 months of rent, a maxed out IRA contribution, 12 round trip domestic flights, and then a substantial emergency fund. Also, some of the hidden benefits of being natural is less salon time, no relaxer touch-ups, reduced maintenance in terms of wigs and things, healthier hair and scalp, more styling flexibility you do, as well as just the mental release of not having to pretend that something you have on your head is yours. I just think there's something so entrapping about it. So what could you do with an extra $4,000 a year? What could the Black community look like when we save that much per Black woman, right? Of course, it's not that black and white. So when I read these numbers, I was just like, I feel like this is the biggest scam in the world. It is, because Black women are spending significantly more than any other race of women to upkeep our hair. So that's why, to me, just love your natural hair is not good advice. It ignores so much of the ingrained programming that has been done since most of us were born, or even before we were born, in terms of we didn't even get a chance to love our hair before we had a chance to even know it. Healing and learning to love your natural hair is a process. It's not an overnight thing. It took me 12 years, but the Hiding to Healing 30-day experience is meant to give you the grace of speed to get there much sooner. And what I loved about putting this together was bringing all of it into a step-by-step, brick-by-brick, layer-by-layer structure. Because if you don't deal with certain things in a certain order, sometimes what you do on the outside, like caring for your natural hair, hair growth hacks, regimens, and so on, those will have a very short-lived impact on your ability to reach your goals and your dreams. I've been there, as I said, when I had my hair at the longest it had ever been, and I sabotaged it over the summer. I did that also for the third time when I had been natural for 4 to 6 years, and then impulsively relaxed it because of a stressful job. So why, when I've had all of the proper tools, regimens, I obviously was taking care of it because it grew, that I just cut it all off? Or that I just totally ruined it? Because foundations matter. If you build your house on sand, it will sink when the wind and waves come. But if you build it on a rock, a strong foundation, when the wind and waves come, when the stress of life come, when you're dealing with things at work, you're not going to impulsively relax your hair because it's grounded on something solid. So this program is essentially that. It is a solid foundation that you can build your life on for the rest of your life. You'll have all the tools, everything you'll ever need to sustain your natural hair transformation, loving yourself, embracing yourself. You'll finally have what you need to sustain that for the rest of your life, and even sharing it with others, whether they're your daughters, your nieces, or people you know, children you know, a woman you know at work. It's going to help you help so many other women. So starting today, the Hiding to Healing 30-day experience is live, and I have an exclusive code for 20 women to use to get 10% off their purchase. Now, as you're going through it, you're going to feel the tug. You're going to be like, yes, yes. How long and where has this been? It's been hiding in me apparently for all these years. But if you're hesitant, there is a 7-day free trial to view the experience on the inside so you can actually see if this is something you want to commit to. So this experience is ready and set for the woman who wants to go deeper, who's ready to reclaim her agency over her hair, over her life, to redefine the beauty terms and live by those terms, but most importantly, to possess the freedom to exist as you are, to be loved, accepted, and worthy without changing who you are and how God originally designed you. When you do this, life is going to open in a way that you're just going to not be able to contain it. From finding my husband who adores my natural hair, from walking out the door and the rain is pouring down because we didn't bring an umbrella. My hair is getting wet, but it's soaking up the water and it's looking so beautiful with those droplets. From not having to spend time with the lace frontal glue, getting it off, ripping hair in the process, taking the glue off of the wig, washing the lace, taking care of one head of hair to then have to take care of my head of hair, and not being spontaneous and wanting to answer, oh yeah, I want to go to the movies today. Oh yeah, let's go to that event. No, because I have to get the glue on. I have to make sure it's not lifting. I've got to make sure that the baby hairs are laying. And then bringing a brush to keep it from developing a rat's nest. Life will open up if you give yourself a chance to undo all of the years that the world, that your family, that the inner thoughts and lies and the enemy has put in you to keep you from having an abundant life. So that invitation is for you if you are ready to jump in. And my Queen of Coils, because of your special support for my YouTube channel for Coily Code, I will be sharing a 20% off code for you in our members community. So I'm so excited for you guys. I cannot wait for you to get in here and get started. So I'm so excited, and I can't wait for you to get and soak in all that God has in store, because the Father loves Black women. He loves you so much, and the world has convinced you that he doesn't, but he does. And once you grab hold to the love of God, and you grab hold to it with all your strength, all your soul, all your mind, all your heart, nobody can ever tell you that you are less than. You will walk out as the queen you are. Head over to coilycode.com and it will get you started, guiding you through the entire process. I also have a special where if you want to get a free preview of the course, there was a poem that I wrote that I shared, and that video is free for you to watch. And from there, decide what you'd like to do in terms of your healing experience. So thank you guys again. I couldn't have made it this far without you. I love being able to serve at this level, and it really brings life to me, because now I know that even though I had to struggle for 12 years, that struggle was not in vain. That struggle was for right now to compile it into an easy, digestible, and doable process. So instead of telling you to love your natural hair, you're just going to love your natural hair by the end of it. And that's it. So have a good one. Reach out if you have any questions. And of course, as always, I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye.